Welcome to the NTN Nightly. I'm Nisha Charles. This edition's top stories. The Ministry of Tourism to engage the tourism taxi subsector. Saint Lucians are being encouraged to resolve conflict through mediation. Saint Lucia's music talents thrill audiences at Saint Lucia Jazz. All that plus the latest in youth development, sports, and the NTN Nouvelle Arc-en-Ciel. The Ministry of Tourism, Information, Broadcasting, Culture and Creative Industries is getting set to engage the tourism taxi subsector as it pushes towards the agenda of revenue generation for all. Minister Honorable Dominic Fede says taxi operators are integral to the tourism product and must position themselves in order to provide the best service and reap the rewards. Here's Janelle Norville.
The Ministry of Tourism, Information and Broadcasting, Culture and Creative Industries, in its quest to bolster the island's tourism industry, is extending its expertise to the taxi sector. Minister for Tourism, Information and Broadcasting, Culture and Creative Industries, Honorable Dominic Fede, indicated that a lot of opportunities go unexplored due to stakeholders not taking advantage of available technological advances.
I would love to see our taxi drivers come into the mold of being organized, of being more business-like, of using more technology, particularly the internet. There has to be more digital marketing. Times have changed a lot. This is an era where people want to pay for a taxi with a credit card and making other online payments. This is an era where people want to book a tour in advance. So if you're in the transportation business, as the taxi drivers are, then you've got to be on the World Wide Web. This is not a new idea, this is an old thing. And so now what we've got to do in the ministry is to help them along, to make sure we give them that technical assistance.
The minister added that several initiatives are soon to come on stream. The initiative, according to him, will be very beneficial not only to enhance St. Lucia's tourism product, but also to empower business owners, especially those in the sphere of village tourism. Honorable Fede explained that one such initiative will provide the kind of assistance needed by these owners to give their businesses the competitive edge.
I'm looking forward to village and community tourism. The bill is going to be passed very soon. And when that bill is passed and the entity is set up, I think we'll be in a better position to give help to a number of small businesses across the spectrum so that they can have an opportunity to compete. And this is what the village and tourism community entity will do. The initiative seeks to mobilize and empower a lot of our small businesses to become more successful, more competitive in this era of globalization.
Interested parties are encouraged to reach out to the Ministry of Tourism for assistance in their ventures. For the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
The Registry of the Supreme Court St. Lucia, in collaboration with Compete Caribbean, is campaigning for the use of alternative dispute resolution or mediation as the preference for resolving conflict. As such, a campaign has been launched which seeks to increase the availability of and access to mediation services under the legislative framework in St. Lucia. Chartered accountant and trained mediator Andrea St. Rose says that an environment where there is a process in place for settlement of disputes is very good for business.
It's also one of the means that the country can use to attract investment.
Right.
An investor would not like to know that you are operating in an environment where if you have a dispute, it will take years to get resolved. And so that is a very good selling point for St. Lucia as a whole, that we have a proper system in place to assist with the resolution of disputes. Businesses on the whole, people enter into transactions, there will be disagreements. Disagreements will arise, just as one of the things that go with doing business.
Yes.
And so it is very important that people are able to take advantage of that process to assist them in resolving disputes efficiently, because time has a value to it.
Chairman of the Court-Connected Mediation Committee, Justice Francis Bell, believes that mediation is quicker or less costly than litigation, and it is also empowering to the individuals involved.
An individual who doesn't have a lot of resources and time for something like court would want to know that they can get the dispute resolved in a manner that is, done quickly, relatively speaking, and relatively, not very costly.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And therefore, individuals who may be involved in small business, you mentioned vendors and so on, which tends to be dominated by women, they can see themselves as being empowered by the fact that they can now actually take charge of their situation and resolve their disputes by way of mediation with the assistance of a mediator.
Oh, highly trained mediator.
Yes, a well-trained mediator. And that, in fact, leads them to recognize that going down the road, every time they have a problem, it doesn't mean that their business is probably facing closure or something like that.
They have to look for money.
They can actually resolve the dispute and go on
Yes.
and move on with their lives.
The campaign will allow for engagement with SMEs, including manufacturers, farmers, service providers, and other business owners about how mediation services can be made more accessible. The musical prowess of the students of the Saint Lucia School of Music was in full display Thursday evening as the featured act of Saint Lucia Jazz. The concert showcased the abundance of national talent eager for opportunity to blossom. Here's Anicia Antoine.
The Saint Lucia Jazz Festival, in collaboration with Jazz at Lincoln Center, continued on Thursday night with Jazz at the Marina. The festival, headlined by the Saint Lucia School of Music, saw performances by 135 music students. Richard Payne, director of the Saint Lucia School of Music, expressed his gratitude to events company Saint Lucia for providing such an opportunity for the music students.
Some of those students will be performing on the stage in this kind of environment for the first time. So, some of them are a little shell-shocked, but that's part of the experience really, right? I mean, it's part of being in the environment, something that they can aspire to. There is another component, of course, an educational component where they've had access to some of the musicians who are coming down as well to share their knowledge with them as well too. So this is sort of part of a more cohesive sort of plan of bring them front and center of the festival atmosphere. Many of them are going to be the next generation of musicians. I'm happy to say that some of our alumni, our graduates, are already doing that.
Payne informed that the music students have been participating in the master classes being hosted by the world-renowned jazz artists in residence.
I think we're on the right track. I think because the festival is smaller, it provides more opportunities for networking, for making connections beyond the festival. We have a very strong interest in exploring educational opportunities because we think some of our students need further training. Some of them we've taken as far as we can. And so we're always looking at scholarship opportunities for the best and brightest in terms of the Saint Lucia School of Music, or exchanges. The Lincoln Center in this case has a very vibrant and strong educational component in terms of what they do. And so it makes sense to align ourselves with this sort of these organizations because it gives us this opportunity to look at other collaborative possibilities.
The evening with the Saint Lucia School of Music, featuring students, alumni, faculty and friends, took place on Thursday, May 9th, 2019. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
And St. Lucia's talent continued to beam Thursday night over on the ramp at Rodney Bay. Lisa Joseph picks up that story.
The ramp on Rodney Bay was transformed into a music wonderland Thursday evening, with visitors and locals alike enthralled. The cast of performers included Grammy Award-winning Gregory Potter, Legacy, acclaimed vocalist and songwriter Somi, who is of Rwandan and Ugandan descent. Her music straddles the worlds of African jazz, soul and pop. Among those giants of today's jazz music was Augustin Jab du Plessis, considered a master of the Caribbean jazz fusion. The performance was thrilling to the audience. The curtains come down on Saint Lucia Jazz this weekend. On Saturday, May 11th, events will be held at the Ramp, the Grocery Park, and the IGY Rodney Bay Marina. On Sunday, the Gospel Jazz Brunch will lift hearts at Shangri-La. From the Government Information Service, Lisa Joseph reporting.
And this is the NTN Nightly. Ryan O'Brien is up next.
Was that an earthquake? No. What do you do if there's an earthquake? Drop, cover, and hold on. What does that mean? You drop to the ground, take cover underneath a sturdy table or desk, and hold on until the shaking stops. What if there's no table or desk? Stay away from the walls, windows, and doorways. Use your hands to cover your head and face and crouch in a corner of the building. But what if you're outside? Go to an open space away from buildings, trees, street lights, and utility wires. Drop to your knees, protect your head with your arms, and wait for the shaking to stop.
Remain alert to your surroundings. Be prepared to change where you are if necessary to promote your safety. During an earthquake, anything that can move and fall, parts of a building including doors, walls and windows, furniture and appliances, can be a hazard. Remember, protect yourself from anything that can move. Do not panic. As soon as you feel the ground shaking, drop, cover and hold on. This message brought to you by the Beaufort South District Disaster Preparedness Committee and NEMO, and funded by the USAID Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance.
Welcome back. We join Ryan O'Brien for the latest happenings in youth development and sports.
Thanks, Anisha. Welcome once again to your update focusing on youth development and sports on the NTN Nightly News. I'm Ryan O'Brien. The collaboration between the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, the Ministry of Education, and the Saint Lucia Football Association is proving to be a very successful partnership in the development of football among primary schools on the island. Following on the heels of Inter-District Primary Schools football competition for boys, it's now the turn of girls at the primary schools level. On Wednesday, schools from the North Districts 1 to 4 had their festival, while on Friday, the action moved south involving schools from Districts 5 to 8. President of the Saint Lucia Football Association, Lyndon Cooper, says the cooperation between the two government ministries and his association has been very positive.
We have no issues with them. I think continuously they have engaged us, we have engaged them, and we have opened a policy among the three institutions. We just want to continue to encourage them to work with the SLFA, and once they understand that the resources are at their disposal, so any assistance they would need to enhance or continue to program, we have the resources to support them.
It is expected that at some date soon, there will be a playoff between the outstanding districts emerging from the two zones. Open water swimming can be something inspirational for students located in the southern belt of the island. That's the view of Maverick Pamphil, a physical education teacher based at the PI Secondary School. He is among more than a dozen physical education and sports teachers attending a FINA Level 1 open water swim coaching course here in Saint Lucia. Pamphil says the experience has been good for him.
So far it's been very, very educational because there's a lot of things that you do not know about the sport. It's a new sport to me personally, and also it's being piloted in the south of the island, so we're trying to get as many people on board as possible to help the kids out. So it's been very, very, very useful.
Pamphil also spoke about the enthusiasm being shown by students of his school in open water swimming.
We did tell the students about it. A lot of them are excited because a few years back it was being done in the south, but it stopped. So we told them about it. They're very excited, so we're looking forward to it in the south as well. So I'm very involved in terms of youth development in the south, so we're trying to get at least some clubs or some communities and schools together so that they can train, learn, try to educate them about the sport and show them the opportunities involved with the sport. Because as we know, swimming is a very, very, well, it's a prestigious sport and you can go very, very far with swimming, so we're trying to get that, well, on flight in the south.
Before we leave you this week, here's just a reminder that Inter-Primary Schools Under 15 cricket starts next Wednesday. The competing schools divided into 4 groups at the start of a bid to become primary schools cricket champions and an opportunity for the players to impress selectors who are on the lookout for a champion team to defend the island's title as Winard Island's under-15 cricket champions. That's our update on youth development and sports this week. I'm Ryan O'Brien.
Thanks, Ryan. The Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards under the Commonwealth Standards Network project is hosting 2 weeks of courses in a Train the Trainer program on the requirements and implementation of 2 international standards. The details in this report.
The Saint Lucia Bureau of Standards is hosting a Train the Trainer program to improve quality management within laboratories. The course focuses on general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories and medical laboratories, requirements for quality and competence. Dr. Xanth Dubizon, head of the certification department at the SLBS, stated that the training of a team of professionals will enable the SLBS to have a pool of trainers who will drive the wider development agenda to improve human resource capacity and support a national quality infrastructure.
We have quite a range of persons here from both the private and public sector laboratories, because this standard applies to all laboratories, all testing and calibration laboratories, be it a one-person laboratory or if the laboratory has 10 personnel. And it's a standard that is internationally recognized. So we're hoping that persons would implement the standards within their laboratory so that they can become accredited. And by accreditation, it really means that they develop the competence to do the testing that they do so that the results are accurate, reliable, and of course throughout the world, once you're accredited, that your results are recognized and accepted internationally.
The Train the Trainer course is being held under the Commonwealth Standards Network project. Charles Barker, team leader of the Commonwealth Standards Network project, explained the importance of being accredited to the international standards for laboratories.
Private laboratories or national laboratories in the island, then what happens is that they require credibility. And in order to obtain credibility, they require to be accredited to the standard 17025, which is for laboratories. This assists in exporting because now all testing done on water, food, products, or whatever that is exported from Saint Lucia, then the laboratories have accreditation that the testing was done properly.
The training program commenced on Thursday, May 9th, 2019 and will culminate on Thursday, May 16th, 2019. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
And stay with the NTN Nightly. Up next, Primus Hutchinson is here with the NTN Nouvelle en Creole.
If you have to do your own spray mix for Black Sigatoka treatment, always follow the recommended safety procedures. Always wear protective gear when handling or being exposed to the fungicide or other pesticides. Use only the fungicides recommended by the Black Sigatoka Management Unit when the treatment is due. The required quantity of the particular fungicide recommended must be mixed with spray oil and applied at a rate of 1.5 to 2 gallons per acre. Fungicides which are not recommended or applied at the wrong time, or even when the spray treatment is not done effectively, can cause the fungus to become resistant to the chemical and therefore may no longer control the disease. Oil fungicide mix which has been stored for too long should not be used to treat Black Sigatoka disease. If carried out, such treatments may not be effective and can lead to poor control of the disease. Remember, before each chemical treatment for Black Sigatoka disease on your farm, first, the oil fungicide mix must be re-agitated immediately before application.
For more information on how to treat and control Black Sigatoka on your farm or in your backyard garden, contact the Black Sigatoka Management Unit at 451-5491, 451-5894, or email bpmu@candw.lc. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the International Cooperation and Development Fund of the Republic of China on Taiwan.
Welcome back. We join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle en Creole.
Monsieur Tanisha, Monsieur Madame Département qui responsabilité pour information gouvernement Saint Lucie ça c'est GIS, ça c'est puis télévision nationale puis ya NTN caposato nouvelle créole pour cette Primus Hutchinson. Jazz à sur un plan Rodney Bay, c'était un spectacle pour changer pour un pile temps pour venir. C'était un spectacle jazz et puis une différence. Côté les patrons qui a véritablement apprécié musique jazz, sorti un grand limo, j'ai dit au souhait, et parmi eux c'était Premier ministre honorable Alan Chasney et puis Madame Lee, et aussi ministre de Culture honorable Fortuna Belrose pour embrasser à bien cette musique-là. Dans ça là, spectacle là fait et puis une différence, principalement pour les gens qui ont même musique là. Et place là, t'es plein passer la musique côté les étrangers. Américains, Français, voisinage de Caraïbes là même, etc. T'es semblé ensemble pour la musique royale. Parmi ces orchestres là qui performaient, c'était Augustin Jab Duplessis. Et quand un volcan, t'es pris les patrons du fait, et puis on dégoût musique qui était excité au méchant tout bonnement. Nous causons et puis il y a des patrons qui étaient présents concernant la manière de apprécier la musique, spectacle.
On sait la musique là bien, jab caché du feu, jab caché belle mazouka c'est un bail bon. Et puis je baille ces scènes, il faut un morceau, je dis mais ça fait bien la peine, c'est scène qui devait ça, et moi on laisse ces scènes, et c'est très belle. Alors qui peut jouer là après, pas contre le programme là, mais mon amis, Clarence c'est vieux frère moi. Il était le groupe bête à faire à l'époque. Et puis Emerson Nurse. Ça, c'est des camarades, Little François, tout ça.
Ah ben, monsieur, madame, ça c'est mon affaire qui a marché sur Rampla, là, Rodney Bay, Jazz, à cette ici, nous, Jab Duplessis, nous avons une méchante performance là, place là plein au wall, là, pas de pour mon ouest, comme mon cas de bout, et nous avons la voix peuple là, parler sur mon dia bagala qui a passé pour Jazz dans 2019. Afin moun ka apprécier ça tout bonnement et que nous plus toujours pour montrer sur NTN concernant Jazz 2019 à cette lycée. Directeur des affaires diaspora à cette lycée, Dr. Joycelyn Clark Fletcher, déclaré que l'association qui a représenté cette lycée à l'autre pays, j'ai établi une adresse à sur Internet là, côté n'importe cette lycée qui n'est en l'état et une profession. Ça place information pour l'autre monde ça ouais. Et si nécessaire, ça fait contact et puis pour garder en façon ces professionnels ça offre service. Dr. Fletcher dit que l'association veut cette lycéen qui habite dans l'autre pays fait plus meilleure contribution pour le développement du pays cette lycée.
Et si c'est un gros business cette lycée et que gouvernement et que veut un monde qui adopte ou aller là regarder si la nia cette lycée qui là et au point c'est quartier bagaille ça gouvernement qui a fait mais tout les madou ça tout gouvernement Saint Lucia ani yo tout vle quartier bagaille ça yo vle travail et puis diaspora so diaspora pani en couleur il pani en illusion il c'est Saint Lucien et c'est sous ça moi là c'est pour raison ça moi vivre pour moi travail et puis diaspora parce que moi comprendre ça yo ni ou pas ça pour un monde qui pas connaître si un femme il pas jamais fait petit maman il pas ça d'où qui qualité peine en femme qui en cette ni mais au point qui a fait il a comprendre moi sortir diaspora moi savent ça yo vle moi t'es allé là faire bail plus bon pour moi éduquer comme moi plus so moi savent ça yo vle et moi ça travail parler ba yo et parler ba gouvernement et gouvernement qui ça yo ni pour faire aiser pour yo vivre
en préparation pour observer l'autre l'année pour décourager moun fumer ministère de santé ensemble avec l'autre agence qui a encore essayé pour faire public là ouais et comprendre danger fumer pour santé. Tabac et cigarette généralement qui a tué plus que 7 millions de monde par l'année. Selon un rapport qui est sorti pendant 890 japes de la vie en cause de la fumée de cigarette qui a respiré. Il y a ces Grecs là qui est responsable pour l'institution qui a fait bataille contre la cigarette. Joanne Joseph a annoncé que l'année pile qui n'a pas les gens qui fument, ça n'a pas de danger. Mais cigarette c'est un mauvais problème santé. Il y a vrai qui il y a possible que plus jeune monde qui fume commence à présent, commence depuis l'âge 13 ans pour 15 ans. Dr. Owen Gabriel veut dire que seule façon pour éprouver à son satisfaction c'est pour réduire à son quantité monde qui a fumé. Selon Dr. Shana Philbert, a pu lancer mauvaise maladie comme du cancer, maladie chair et l'autre comme ça. A pile délai, c'est fumer qui a une cause de. D'ailleurs, quand observé journée contre tabac et cigarette le 31 mai l'année ici. Et c'est comme ça nous bout nouvelle là. Je remercie autant pour regarder. Je vais une invitation pour jeune puis moi considérer conserver la vie. Les présenter l'autre nouvelle créole. Après ça, avec témoin surtout un bon finissement de semaine comme la coutume et après ça témoin vieux en la main des chers.
Merci on Pill Primus. And here's a look at what's happening to us weather-wise.
The Atlantic high-pressure system will maintain a moderate easterly wind flow across the eastern Caribbean region during the next few days. Moisture and instability in the lower levels of the atmosphere over the region will cause some scattered showers over the island chain during the next 24 hours. The tide for Castries Harbour was low at 2:24 p.m. and will be high again at 9:27 p.m. Tide for Vieux-Fort Bay was low at 3:51 p.m. and will be high again at 10:34 p.m. The sea is moderate to locally rough with waves 5 to 7 feet or 1.5 to 2.1 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution due to above normal seas. The sun will rise Saturday at 5:38 a.m.
And that brings us to the end of the NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the Saint Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I'm Nisha Charles.